the consensus #1 overall pick in the 2013 NBA draft, but a couple months before the draft, he tore his ACL. This forced him to miss the rest of his college season in Kentucky, but more importantly, it caused him to drop significantly on the draft boards, as he fell to number 6. Now, the 2013 draft at the time was viewed as a very weak draft class. We've seen some players over the years develop and succeed, but we've also seen some failures. Unlike Anthony Bennett, who struggled on the court, most of Noel's problems happened off the court. How's it going, fellas? My name's Andy, and today we're going to talk about Nerlens Noel and how a couple of things ruined his NBA career, but he still has a chance to revive it. In the 2013 draft, the New Orleans Pelicans drafted him, but they already had Anthony Davis, so having both of them was kinda redundant. This prompted them to trade Noel to the Sixers for Jrue Holiday on draft night. Unfortunately, Noel's ACL tear forced him to miss his entire first season in Philly. But at the start of the 2014-15 season, Noel was fully healthy and hit the ground running. He made himself known as a nasty defensive presence, filling up the stat sheet with a lot of steals, blocks, rebounds. He was already an elite defensive center as a rookie. Even though the Sixers were terrible and won only 18 games, Noel was 7th among all centers in defensive real plus-minus. He finished the season averaging 10 points, 8 rebounds, and nearly 2 steals and 2 blocks per game. Noel's playstyle was kind of like Shawn Marion's. He can defend multiple positions, he can run the floor in transition, go up for alley-oops, and he did all the little things to help his team win. The problem was his team wasn't winning. This would continue in his sophomore season as well. Noel improved his overall efficiency, now making 72% of his shots at the rim. However, the Sixers were still very bad. It wasn't until the 2016-17 season when the team started to get things together. That was because Joel Embiid was healthy and finally started to play. While they were expected to be a great defensive duo on paper, it didn't happen because Noel was struggling with even more injuries. At the beginning of the season, he got another knee surgery, and on top of that, when he got back, the Sixers had too many centers, and not enough minutes to go around. Also, the relationship between him and the team started to get bad. Noel publicly said that, "I'm not an 8-minute player. I need to be on the court playing basketball. I'm too good to be playing 8 minutes right now. That's crazy. Need to figure this stuff out." Coach Brett Brown commented on the situation and said, "I feel worse for Richaun," another center who also hasn't played many minutes. Eventually, this experiment would not work out. Although Noel was supposed to be a franchise cornerstone 2 years prior, this wasn't a great situation for him. Embiid was better and obviously the starting center, and Noel couldn't play power forward because he still had no jump shots, and the injury slowed his development. Jahlil Okafor was also getting his minutes, although he wasn't that good either. Anyway, by the middle of the 2016-17 season, Noel got traded to the Dallas Mavericks. His time in Dallas was good and bad. Theoretically, this should be a good situation for him. He's on a new team with a fresh start, the Mavericks are a great organization, Rick Carlisle is a great coach. Things should work out, and in the beginning it did. Nerlens got more minutes, and he played well in the front court alongside Dirk and Harrison Barnes. He was averaging like 8 points, 7 rebounds a game, which was decent. But now, here's the bad part. At the end of the season, according to Noel's former agent, he said that he declined a 4-year $70 million offer. Initially, Chris Haynes reported that his offer never existed, but Noel's former agent, Happy Walters, confirmed that it was real. It seems ridiculous for Noel to decline this offer. I mean, 4 years, $70 million for a guy averaging 8 points and 7 rebounds? Why would he not accept that? Well, it was mainly because this was just 1 year after that whole summer of 2016, where a ton of players got massive contracts with the salary cap jump. Guys like Mozgov, Luol Deng, Gorgui Dieng, Ian Mahinmi, they were all making a ton of money. Now, 4 years, $70 million would be about $17.5 million a year, which is around the same as those guys. But Noel believed that he was better and he was also way younger. It makes sense why he wanted more. So yeah, Noel declined the offer and instead, he just took the Mavs' qualifying offer of 1 year $4 million and then become an unrestricted free agent in the summer of 2018. He also ended up firing his agent and hired Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, hoping to get an even bigger contract a year later. Unfortunately, Noel declining that contract was probably the worst decision of his entire life. In the 2017-18 season, the season where Noel was supposed to prove himself and earn a massive contract, he had the worst season of his career. In December, he got surgery to repair his thumb and he finished the season playing only 30 games. He had career lows in points, rebounds, minutes, and even when he was healthy, he barely played. The relationship between Noel and Coach Carlisle was a bit shaky. Carlisle has never been known to play young players many minutes, but he might have been too harsh on Noel. At the same time, I've heard Mavs fans say that Noel underperformed in the minutes that he did get. His defense, which was the best aspect of his game, started to regress. He started to gamble for blocks and steals a lot more, he wasn't in the right spots, he was rotating too late, all these things made him get benched. Another thing is, he came into the NBA really underweight. His Draft Express profile lists him at 7 foot tall, 206 pounds. That's ridiculously light for how tall he is. And over the years, he did gain some weight, but he still gets pushed around a lot. He's still pretty weak. On top of all of this, near the end of the season, Noel got suspended for violating the NBA's drug policy. Yikes, that was not a great way to finish off the season. As a result of this terrible season, Noel did not get any more significant offers, and at that point the market was pretty much all dried up. Very few teams had cap space anyway. He settled for a 2-year minimum contract with OKC, and most likely he's gonna be coming off the bench behind Steven Adams. If you told me back in 2013 that Noel is gonna be making less than $2 million a year as the backup center to Steven Adams, I would not believe that. Man, the 2013 draft was crazy. It didn't turn out the way that everyone thought it would. With that being said, this is the perfect situation for Noel. Being a backup center on this OKC team is actually a great role for him. This is by far the best situation he's been in since he entered the NBA, for a couple of reasons. First, he's never played with a playmaker as good as Westbrook. Westbrook is one of the best playmakers in the NBA and draws a lot of attention, both on and off the court. The Westbrook and Steven Adams pick and roll has been their most efficient play in recent years, and that's only possible because of Westbrook's explosiveness and Adams' athleticism. Now, Noel is not as athletic or strong as Adams, but he's good at catching lobs. I don't think Westbrook and Noel are gonna play that many minutes together, but when they do, Noel will benefit greatly from it. Secondly, Dennis Schroeder and Noel can play off each other very well. While Schroeder is known as a score-first point guard, he's a good passer out of the pick and roll. Against opposing teams' benches, the Schroeder plus Noel pick and roll will be very hard to stop. Honestly, I think Schroeder might be the most talented bench player in the entire league. He's gonna help out Noel a lot. He's gonna help him get a lot of easy points. And defensively, Noel will fit in very well. The Thunder have always been a good defensive team, so Noel will fit in right away. He might have had issues with motivation in the past, but right now on this OKC team with a legit chance to compete, he'll find his groove. And thirdly, well, there's really no pressure on Noel. I guess he's still playing and hoping to get a bigger contract in the future, but on the court, nobody's gonna blame him if the team loses.
Steven, second time in 3 games, you guys really struggled when Russell went to the bench. You were out there for part of that. What goes on when he goes to the bench?
Hold on, Steven. I don't want nobody to try to split us up. We all one team. I don't want to hear that. We in this together. We playing as a team, and that's all that matters. That's it.
You guys have not played well at all when you've gone to the bench.
That's fine.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Say Russell, you ain't played well at all. Say Russell and the team haven't played well. Don't say when Russell goes out, the team don't play well. It don't matter. We in this together.
The great thing about having a guy like Westbrook on your team is that he takes all the bullets. Despite all the media criticisms about OKC, he still supports his teammates 100% of the time when they lose. And he also takes all the blame. Despite Westbrook's polarizing playstyle, there's no questioning him as a teammate. He's always got his teammates back, unless it's Reggie Jackson. But yeah, basically, Noel should not feel as much pressure as before with Westbrook and PG on the team, and this is just in general the perfect situation for him. Anyway, that sums up the unfortunate career of Nerlens Noel. It's gonna be a very important season in OKC for Noel himself and the team in general. Let me know your thoughts on Noel. Do you think he can revive his career? Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.